This is April 25th, 2014. There's Henry. He's a nice dog. Video for Edible Acres. Met my girlfriend Sasha's home in Ithaca. And I want to talk about this little funny looking thing hanging off her house. We're starting to get into the growing season, and today we're out in the garden. We'll look at that later on. Just doing all sorts of nice work out there. But this is a greenhouse that I built for her for, I believe, it's like somewhere between 15 and 18 bucks in parts. It's 7 feet deep, or 7 feet in that direction. Don't mind me, I'm having a beer. And 10 feet in the other direction. So it's small, about 70 square feet. But for 15, 18 bucks, I think quite a deal. The greenhouse plastic I am bartering with a fellow farmer who had some left over from a bigger greenhouse. And let's take a look inside and see what's going on. It's still just getting established right now, so it looks a little bit bare. But there's some really neat basic concepts going on in here. So the whole structure is made out of Black Locust. This is, believe it or not, it's considered slab wood or waste wood from Locust Lumber Company in Newfield, New York. $25 a truckload. This constitutes about like a half of my truck's worth of space. A lot of this stuff I zip down with table saw to get 1x1 stock. Most of the stuff is actually pretty darn close to 1x4. And so I assembled the uprights in my garage. The one doom with the side bracing and the angle bracing, built the whole thing in my garage, and then took it apart, delivered it here in my truck, and then we reassembled it. It took us about an hour or two to put it together. And so now it's in position. I thought this was a nice treatment for the raised beds. So you can see my foot there. It's, you know, about that tall, maybe 8 inches, 12 inches raised bed. This is all made out of it's all basically firewood. We chopped down a wild apple tree. We're going to use it to smoke meat or that kind of thing, and it sat out in the rain. And so the nice thing is you lay these up as though you're stacking firewood. You can make them arbitrarily do curves, that kind of stuff. Really nice food for thought for garden use. But before we did that, we laid down some really thick layers of cardboard and through the whole thing to sheet mulch. Laid in the logs, and then backfilled it with composted horse bedding, or semi-composted, and then inoculated the whole thing with King Stropharia inoculant. And today, very, very tiny tinies, but we transplanted in some seedlings. So we've got Espelette hot peppers, Marconi hot peppers, and a really nice tomato in here. Basil will come in later, some other hot weather herbs, maybe some okra. This is not a huge production space, but it's a really nice bonus space. The other things about that is the tomatoes indeterminate, can come up and trellis if we want to do that. And then it's also coupled to a window to the house that for these times of years where it's sunny and kind of warm out, but maybe cool overnight, we can crack the window open and capture some of the heat of the greenhouse to just save on propane. And on that similar vein, there's this little funky thing. This is a hollowed out leg from a table. The other day, it was a cold day, and the hot air heater was on in her house. And I realized that PVC pipe, I guess there's excess hot air, pressure, or whatever that comes out of that pipe. It was outside, and so I just added a spur, and so now that hot air, whenever it's heating the house, this thing which was just dumping out into the north side of the house, now dumps through here. So this actually gets heated whenever her home heating system is on, just to capture that waste heat. And then this hose attaches to, there's a rain collection 275 gallon tote over there on that side of the garage, and so I just open the ball valve on that and the water rushes through, comes out at a nice rate of flow, enough to spot water everything. Once the Stropharia really come through here, they'll distribute the water more evenly, and then as these logs start to rot down, it'll be a little bit like hugelkultur, and they can release water back into the soil to mitigate. And then let's see, there's that little thing that will go into that corner so that can be opened to ventilate. Right now it's near the house but not locked into the house, so there's actually airflow that moves through. for this time of year when we're not really getting near freezing anymore, or getting near it but not below freezing. That works perfectly, and eventually I'll probably take this door off for the heat of the summer, just to really let air flow through. Real simple fastening system. This is white oak, run through a table saw. There's salvaged fence bits that I ran through and just sliced little pieces, and then I countersunk holes and then put in screws that don't rot, and that's what battens down all the plastic. Yeah, so you know, certainly not perfect, certainly not the most beautiful thing in the world, but boy is it functional, and you can't beat that price. It's haggard looking here. The idea is that we're going to build more of that log base raised bed all the way around, fill that with compost, and then be able to grow crops on the front of the greenhouse, perhaps even trellis them up and over so that in the heat of the month it actually has green vegetation over the whole thing that we can then cut down and allow light through. This will be growing spinach and lettuce and kale through the winter. It'll be a place for us to start seeds next year, and right now it's just a thing for us to learn from. So again, you know, it's all locust, PGP screws. Haven't seen it flex at all in the heaviest winds. The plastic's a little floppy, but I would guess we topped out certainly no more than 20 bucks, probably closer to 15, which you cannot beat for 70 square feet of heated greenhouse space, which was a really nice bonus. Just real quick, show you what that looks like. I don't even know what this tube is, but I maintained the same diameter so it wouldn't have pressure. It comes out, hits there, just taped it on, and when the hot air kicks on inside, shoots out through there. And just real quick, for those of you that are interested, the hose comes around, and that's our source of irrigation. Downspout goes through a metal filter, and it captures everything on the south side of the house. Right, what am I saying? We're on the south side. That's where the greenhouse is. We are not in New Zealand. Anyway, yeah, so there's all that rainwater collection which can then be sent into here. There's also some little hand-dug ponds that we've done. That might be another video. But some food for thought. Certainly could be done in a cleaner way, better way, etc. But for the price, might be something really fun for folks to play with. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great growing season.